everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you to do it every single day. I ask you to do it, even on Christmas Eve. And that is to look right down here, look in your settings, find your subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. Ugh, I cannot speak on it right now. I just can't. And right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative for your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation to the channel, our super thanks button is right over there. And all donations to the channel will always be greatly appreciated. Also, y'all, I have an announcement and I have some shout outs. We're going to do the shout outs first. First, I want to shout out Janice Gladovich. Janet, thank you for the super thanks. And just thank you for being Janet and being such a great supporter of my channel. I mean, you are one of my ride or dies, and I appreciate you so very much. Also, baby sis Dawn came through. Yes, she did. She came through. And I just want to say thank you, baby sis Dawn. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being such a great supporter of the channel. And just thank you for being you. And just being there, always in the comments, just bringing all of the knowledge and the common sense. Because we all know common sense is not common anymore, but baby sis doll be bringing it. I'm telling you. Also, our new channel member, we have a new channel member, so I do have an announcement. It is Beverly Jackson 6875. Now, I have another channel member named Beverly Jackson, and hers is 3010. Let's not get them confused. We got two Beverly Jacksons, and I'm telling you, I love both of them. I'm telling you. So, Beverly Jackson, thank you for becoming a channel member. Thank you for seeing something in my channel and saying, I think she got something there. I want to support her, and just thank you just for being a part of my tribe. I'm telling you, I am over the moon to have you as a part of the reading club. And now that you are a part of the reading club, you can go over to the community page and you will find your official welcome to the reading club right over there. And everybody, I want everybody who is listening, everybody who is a part of the tribe, if you get a chance, please go over to the community page and welcome Beverly to our reading club because I am so thrilled, so over the moon to have her. All right, y'all. With all of that said, let's get to the read. Now, I want to say this first. Y'all might hear something in the background because just like every other family, we got people in the house. We got TVs going in all different rooms. So if you happen to hear anything like any knocking or any kind of noises, just ignore it because it is Christmas and everybody has a house full. And I don't care who I have in the house. Nothing stops the read. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Let's get to the read. And because y'all know, nosy me, I have been in these streets. And of course, I got a lot. I got a lot for us to talk about. And y'all know what I do when I am putting together the read. I jump in these internet streets, and I'm telling you, that's exactly where I have been. I have been up, down, all around, looking around corners, even absolutely looking up under the cars to see exactly what the squatties are talking about today. I was over to Blue Sky. I went to TikTok just for a minute because y'all know how I am addicted to TikTok. I get over there, maybe 3 days. I said 3 days. It could happen 3 days be unpassed by the time I absolutely come to myself and find out, okay, wow, I've been on TikTok that long. And then after I left TikTok, of course, I went to Instagram to see what the Instagram squatties were talking about. And all the buzz, same on X, formerly known as Twitter, and it is still about Blake Lively. It is about this exposure of this smear campaign. And somehow the connections of the people that are involved in the Blake Lively smear campaign have some connections to the smear campaign against Meghan. Yes, you heard it right. They have started to connect the dots. I knew before this whole thing with Blake Lively connected to Meghan, before the dots was connected, I always knew that it was going to be a good thing for Meghan, a good thing for Harry, and a good thing for the squad. And that is exactly how it is working out. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Miss Melissa Nathan and who her sister is and why that is connected to Meghan. I just love it. I do. I do. I do. I love when I can see things before they come. Because if y'all go back, roll that footage back, you will see that even before I even knew that it was a possibility of a connection with Meghan, I knew this was going to be a good thing. Exposure is always a good thing. And I just love it. I do. All right, y'all, let's get started. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about and we need to get started because it's Christmas Eve and I got folks over. So we need to get this thing done. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And it says the email revelations in the Blake Lively case give just a tiny glimpse into how the evil operations being run by Willie against Harry and Meghan's work. Where it's a lie. We have saw it in real time against Polo. Before Polo came out, the minute they posted it for reviews, they were in there sabotaging them. All the paid trolls and the bots was in there giving it bad reviews. That is why I have done nothing but hammer it home on this particular podcast. How we still need to continue to run Polo. I refuse to allow them to win. I refuse to allow them to get away with their nonsense. I ran Polo this morning while I was cooking breakfast. So we have to continue to run it and run it and run it. But it goes on to say that Harry and Meghan are still standing is no small part thanks to the Sussex Squad. I say it every time. Now, does it have a lot to do with who Harry and Meghan is as people? Yes, it does. Because they never give up. They keep on going no matter what, they keep on going. You know, I think back to that Pat Tillman Award. I felt so sorry for Harry because it was on full display. The attacks after attacks after attacks that came on Harry for no good reason except the smear him, the jealousy that was coming from across the pond. And we saw them just absolutely send out their flying monkey. Caroline Graham. Went over there to Pat Tillman's mother, Mary Tillman, and got her to say all manner of things. And we don't even know what the dynamics are between Mary Tillman and his wife when before his passing or after his passing. But we all know that Mary Tillman had no idea who she was talking about. And she was being led by that blind monkey who actually looked like a legitimate monkey. And that would be that ugly, weasel looking Carolyn Graham. She looks like if she makes over 10 steps, she'll fall down and break her hip, blind, being the blind monkey that she is, and she caused all that havoc and chaos for Prince Harry for no good reason. For no good reason. And it still to this day breaks my heart to see Harry on that stage showing so much grace to that old witch. And I said what I said because she should not have spoken if she didn't know who she was talking to. She just wanted some way to attack her daughter-in-law. And she did not care who she hurt in the process, and knowing that she was being used to hurt Harry. So I have no grace for her. I don't. Do I feel sorry that she has lost her son? Absolutely, I do. But it ends right there. Put a period on it. I'm saying. But I digress. But yes, this is a testament to the people that Harry and Meghan are. But it also is a testament to the people that the Sussex Squad is. Because at the end of the day, we always going to be in the fight all the time, every day. It's Christmas Eve. I'm out here swinging. I am right here putting my voice out there, even today, because it's just that important. I'm just saying. All right, it goes on to say that Harry and Meghan are still standing is in no small part thanks to the Sussex Squad. We are not going anywhere and we remain vigilant. What is the lie? Like I said, here I am on Christmas Eve being vigilant. I refuse to allow them 1 inch without fighting for it. I will always be there to throw the hands every day. And when I say every day, I mean absolutely every day. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. Blake Lively faced a few weeks of print and social media attacks and said she was depressed and could not leave her house. But Meghan Markle, who has an average of 50 negative articles a day and endless hate on YouTube, and we see it every day, and social media for 7 years, is a liar and was never wanting to unalive herself. But it's a lie. Blake Lively, and I am not taking anything from Blake Lively. I am sure she did suffer because it's really hard when people come after you and you have never been came after before. It seems that Blake Lively, she's beautiful and she has a lot going for her. She seemed to have lived a charmed life. So I'm sure it was a interruption and very, very jarring for her to have all this negativity and hate coming her way. But Meghan has had it consistently for 8 years. This particular person said 7 years, but it's been 8. It's been 8. It was happening before she even married Prince Harry. They had already coordinated the smear campaign against her. They just gave her a little reprieve on her wedding day, but after that, it was full on. And when they came from Australia, it was on and on like hot butter on popcorn. When they came back after they got a load of all the love, all the admiration, all the success of that tour, of that Australian tour, they absolutely was all in on destroying Meghan Markle and getting her away from there. Now, I don't know if they wanted to get Harry away from there, but they definitely wanted Meghan to go. How many times did we see on a daily basis on national TV Piers Morgan telling her to go home? I'm just saying. And then this particular squatty reposted that and said this: one of the most inoffensive people out there and inundated with nonstop bullshit hatred on a daily basis. Where is the lie? Where is the lie? And yet and still nobody wanted to believe Meghan. Meghan sit there on Oprah and said it. She sit there on Harry and Meghan's documentary, the docuseries, and said it. She cried about it. She said how difficult it was, how scary, all of the hate coming her way, how she would go through the house and make sure the alarms were on, how she absolutely would see some of the threats that came in, how people wanted to hurt her. And she said she was a mother. She has children, and all these people targeting her, like Melissa Nathan, those kind of women, like Sarah No Neck Vine, and that absolute ghoul of a human being called Liz Jones, who looked like she absolutely is transforming into a lizard. All of these people, and it goes on and on and on. And Megan sit there and was telling them how she was feeling. But yet and still they chose to ignore that. They did. And only the Sussy Squad was out here on these streets saying, you know what, we are not going to have this. This will not be tolerated. Not on this watch. Only the Sussex Squad was out here on these internet streets saying this is not going to go down like that. We are not going to allow this to happen. The pushback will continue. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty absolutely went back to the Byline Times article and really, really showed exactly who is at the helm of the smear campaign against Meghan. And just like Blake Lively, we all know who was at the root of the smear campaign. It is so funny to me. I have always said, if you really want to know who is paying the bills, who is the benefactor of any smear campaign, always look to who is benefiting from it. And we all know who is benefiting from Meghan's smear campaign and the smearing of Harry, too. He gets smeared, but not as much. And this particular squattee posted this: what King Charles III, Camilla, William, and Kate continually do to the Sussexes, primarily Meghan, in this campaign to assassinate her character is horrifying and shocking, not illegal. The way the royal family used the British press, tabloids, social, news, and print media defies sanity. And it goes back to what Byline Times said. It says, the source added, the greater truth is that Harry and Meghan makes better headlines than the King and Camilla or William and Kate. The idea of them still being in public service but abroad and out of the control of the institution and dominating the media narrative just couldn't happen. But it did, didn't it? And that is the reason why I am always very fearful for Harry and Meghan. I am so glad Harry just absolutely refused to bring his wife to that place. And what Harry said on national TV on that documentary, what was it, Tabloids on Trial, what he said there was absolutely true. It only takes one fevered minded person. And I would not put it past them to find a fevered minded person and encourage that fever minded person to do something to Megan because it's just that deep for them. And if you think it's not that deep for them, you have not been paying attention. I put nothing past them. Jason Knopf, I put nothing past him. Lee Thompson, nothing past him. And most of all, I put nothing past Charles and Camilla and Kate and William. Absolutely nothing. Because at the end of the day, it is about them. Harry had to learn that this is not a family, it is definitely a firm that would do anything and destroy anybody who comes up against it or overshadows it. Those people over there are not Harry's family. And I hope Harry is fully aware of that, especially after he has gotten them email and that communication between the son and the palaces. And it goes on to say senior members of the family wanted them back after the transition period and was ready to continue playing dirty to make this happen. They never thought that the trial period would work and tried everything to make it fail, starting with the removal of security and then signing off on a 12-month assault by the UK press on Harry and Meghan and everyone in their orbit. And where is the lie? And I say that because not because it was printed in byline time, but because we sit back and watched it in real time. And the reason they wanted them back, but they wanted them humbled. They wanted them in control. They wanted to be able to use them any way that they wanted to. They never expected Harry and Meghan to make it after they absolutely signed, Charles and William signed off on that 12-month assault, which has actually turned into 8 years. It was always ongoing. But I guess after they left, they just absolutely kicked it into full overdrive. But I digress. But yes, they wanted them back, but they wanted them back under control, under their thumb, under their feet. And, like William had the nerve to put his finger in Megan's face. He wanted to be able to do that. He wanted to be able to say, you go here, you go there, you stand here, you do what I say. And they learned that Harry and Meghan was not those people. And they feel some kind of way about it. They absolutely do. And it goes on to say, as far as the institution of the monarchy went, the Sussexes had either to be safely in the tent in Britain or cast away and castigated as comprehensively as possible in order to reduce the threat of them eclipsing the rest of the family. And my whole thing is this to me just absolutely screams how little self awareness that Charles and Camilla and William and Kate has. Harry and Meghan moving away has not changed their ability to have more self awareness because at the end of the day, they don't know who they are. It never was about Harry and Meghan overshadowing them. It was the fact that they were so dull, anybody would have overshadowed them. Now, is Meghan extraordinary? Is Harry extraordinary? But they wouldn't even have to be that extraordinary. All they would have to do is to show up for work to overshadow them, folks. I'm telling you, they are just that mediocre. But they have no self-awareness. Y'all remember how what book was it in? I know where it came from. I know where it came from. It came from Jabbo's book. It came from Jabbo, from Robert Jobson's book, where they said William was so jealous. And Harry and Meghan had been in Cornwall earlier in the day, and he had a new haircut, and he was butthurt because Harry and Meghan overshadowed him, and he felt because he was the heir and he had a new haircut, he should have been the lead. Everybody should have focused on him. The lack of self awareness. He really, really believed that. And that's it. Jabbo said he believed that. And he had his nose out of joint because people paid attention to Harry and Meghan. This is what Harry and Meghan had to contend with. These absolutely mediocre human beings who had the same self awareness as someone that's on the spectrum. I'm telling you, I have said this before. If they wasn't royal, I'm sure some of them would be on the spectrum, and probably is, but we just don't know about it. I'm just saying, because you have to be pretty doggone stupid to think a haircut is going to absolutely make you blow up. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say, it is no surprise they have endured such a degrading time from such a willing British media when the same just isn't true elsewhere in the world. Well, it's a lie. They are part of the smear campaign. Charles, Camilla, William, and Kate. And we can see who has absolutely come out on top, who karma keeps on knocking on their door. And it's not Harry and Meghan. You put all that negativity out there. Y'all remember in, I think it was my podcast before this last one, and I was talking about our favorite Karen and how she said she had to give up her Harry and Meghan hate. She called it William and Kate support. But in actuality, it's no such thing as William and Kate fans. It's Harry and Meghan haters. And she absolutely proved that in her thread. And and you go on any of the hate channels here on this here YouTube who profess to be William and Kate fans, in actuality, that's not it. They are Harry and Meghan haters. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this: the smear campaign is coming straight from the palace. We all know that. Tina and Michelle said that. And that was before Harry and Meghan actually left and moved to America. Tina and Michelle was absolutely saying that from the jump. And at the time, we didn't know as much as we know now. But I'm telling you, Tina and Michelle was like mediums back then. They could see it all just as plain, and everything they said back then. You can go back and run that footage from their podcast, and you will see that everything that they said was absolutely true. How they knew it, I don't know, but everything they said was true. I'm just saying. And like I said, we've been knowing that. We've been knowing who is the benefactor of the smear campaign. We all know who is the one who is pulling the pounds out of their pocket to pay all of the paid trolls and bots. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty posted this to remind us of what was going on during that time and how William and Kate, they wasn't doing nothing but paying bots and paying for subscribers. Let's go on. It says the smear campaign is coming straight from the palace. Those two sister demons, Melissa and Sarah Nathan, should be in jail. And what they're talking about is, and I hadn't brought this up, but Melissa Nathan is the PR person who absolutely perpetrated this smear campaign on Blake Lively. Well, do you not know she has a sister named Sarah Nathan who is employed by the New York Post? And who owns the New York Post? Rupert Murdoch. And when you go back to see all of the things that this particular Sarah Nathan has written about Blake Lively and Meghan Markle, you'll see the connection. You will see how these demon sisters, at this particular squatty puts it, worked hand in glove together to smear these women. That's the connection. And like I said, before I even knew it was a connection, I knew that this was going to be good because it is going to expose a lot, and it is going to expose Miss Sarah Nathan. And guess what? They're going to have to dig up all the things that this woman has done. It's going to be a lot of exposure this year. It is going to be a lot for us squatties to discuss, and I cannot wait. Like I said, I did not know that this Blake Lively smear campaign was going to be directly connected to Meghan's smear campaign. But boy, is that a win. But I just thought at the time when I first heard about it that it's always going to be good because this is an opportunity for us squatties to remind people that Blake Lively is not the only person who has a smear campaign being perpetrated against them. But little did I know the connections. After the dots showed up and people started to connect the dots, and there was Sarah Nathan. And it is article after article after article that she has posted in the New York Post, negative articles attacking Meghan's character. And who is her sister? Melissa. Melissa Nathan. These two people, these two women haters. And like I said in my podcast yesterday, men do not have to lift a finger to uphold the patriarchy. Because women, like these women, they on the battlefield every day doing exactly that. Work for the men. The men like, well, I'm not even going to talk about who, we all know who they are. All those misogynistic men. All the ones who absolutely have no respect and really feel that women have no value. These are the women who hate on other women. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. We're going to go and we're going to read this, what this particular squatty posted under this. And they posted the original article that appeared in the New York Times when Harry and Meghan first got their Instagram. And y'all know when Harry and Meghan first got their Instagram, it popped off. I'm telling you, I think within 24 hours, they had got 1 million subscribers or something like that, less than 24 hours. And it did nothing but grow and grow and grow. And then the New York Times took notice to it. The New York Times took notice to how suspicious it was that the Kensington Royal, Kensington Palace's Instagram just absolutely just took off after that. And this is what the article said. It says a royal Instagram mystery. It says before Harry and Meghan, hold on. Let me make it bigger because I cannot see. That's one reason sometimes I be stumbling over words. I cannot see. And if I wear my glasses, my ring light, it irritates me to see that ring light in my glasses. But I digress. And it says this. Before Harry and Meghan's account existed, at Kensington Royal might gain something like 1,000 followers on an average good, but not astronomically good day. But between January 1st and March 31st of last year, its following shrank by nearly 10,000 accounts. The creation of Sussex Royal seems to reinvigorate it, and then some. On May 12th, the day Sussex Royal posted a photo of Meghan's hands holding newborn Archie's cute tiny feet, the account of Archie's aunt and uncle at Kensington Royal gained more than 42 followers. This despite the fact that Kensington Royal hadn't posted no content, as well as the fact that the Sussex's post was in honor of a holiday few British were observing, U.S. Mother's Day. Yes, proof that the subscribers were purchased. I mean, they were losing subscribers. They were losing followers. And then all of a sudden, 42,000 followers just showed up out of thin air for Kensington Royal. And it goes on to say, to him, Sussex Royal initial explosive growth seemed genuine. But the fact that Kensington Royal's followers count grew by a large number on days of popular Sussex Royal posts, a day at Sussex Royal shared a shot of the baby son's feet, for instance, made him suspicious of the older account. Yes. And you tell me people who will do something like this will not do anything. It has always been about the competition for William. And at this point, that it could be the reason why he looks so bad. Because he has gotten to the point where he understands that he's never going to one up Harry. And when someone gets to that point, that William, I feel, may be, they're very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. And Harry can love his brother, but Harry also needs to know that that is not something that is mutual, because I really feel that William has grown to hate him. I do. I think that is the result of the change in William. The hatred is eating him from the inside out. And it's no telling what he is taking or doing to cope with this burning that's in his gut. The hatred. I'm just saying. It says, then there was the matter of fans. Anna, what is her name? Jeeber, I cannot what her name is. A data analyst specializing in Instagram commerce found that when William, Kate, Meghan, and Harry shared one Instagram handle, their respective Instagram fan account grew in ways that largely mirrored Kensington Royal. But after the Sussex Royal was created, the pattern collapsed. Major fans' Instagram account for William and Kate, which previously corresponded to the popularity of their official page, did not see growth aligning with their official account. Then this lady said, following of Meghan and Harry's fan account rose in proportion to Sussex Royal following, but at Kensington Royal's number grew faster than William and Kate's fan page. prove that these people will absolutely stoop to buying followers. And a person who will stoop to buying followers will stoop to buying bots. And people who will stoop to buying bots will stoop to paying trolls. And a person or people who will stoop to paying trolls will absolutely stoop to anything. I'm just saying. Y'all, and this right here is another thing that this particular squatty posted. And it's pretty much just saying who Sarah Nathan is. She is the editor at large. Sarah is an award winning editor at large at the New York Post. And I don't know how you can become award winning and work at the New York Post, because everybody who knows anything knows the reputation of the New York Post, that it is a rag. Everything that Murdoch owns is a bunch of rags. And so I don't know how you become award winning at the New York Post, but evidently it's possible. And she also have worked at the Sun, the Daily Mail, the dailymail.com, and People. What does that tell you? It all runs together. The dots are being connected, just like when we absolutely figured out that man that was over to the Hollywood Reporter was connected to the Daily Fail and Tatum Brown. It's all been an organized, coordinated smear campaign on Meghan, and the tentacles are many and they run deep. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this: court records show UK media argued that Harry leaks and stories came from the palace and members of the royal family. Let's not forget that. It has been documented. It has been adjudicated. It is in court documents that the palace, that Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace has always been planning stories, have always been leaking on Harry and Meghan. The smear campaign has always been proven. Who is the benefactor? And like I said, way back when we didn't know any of this, Tina and Michelle already knew. They are sages. They are mediums. I'm telling you, those OG squatties knew exactly what they were talking about. And look what we have here. Look what has been proven. Look what has been put into court documents. Exactly what they said. Let's get into it. It says Prince Harry's stories came from members of the royal family. Daily Mail publishers claim in court. And I know what y'all gonna say. I know what y'all gonna say in the comments. At least some of y'all are. This is an old story, Royal Reed. Why are you going over this, Royal Reed? Because we have new squatties who don't know these kind of things. And I have always said that sometime I'm gonna go over stuff like this to absolutely educate the new squatties that are coming on board, the new supporters that are coming on board. They hadn't been here like a lot of us OG squatties that has been here all the way through. It is people who don't even know who Tina and Michelle is. That is one reason why I bring up their names, because they are the originators of the Sussy Squad. And everything that they said was absolutely true. I'm telling you, and I love seeing it. And now it is right there in these court documents. So we're going to go over this. And it says Prince Harry himself has previously spoken about leaks from within the firm, commenting in his book Spare. The members of the royal family briefed the press. And you know these people to this day, they will say that this is not true. And yet and still, it has been proven time and time again, and now is in official court records that yeah, they did. And William has the nerve to be indignant about talking about. I saw one of these flying monkeys on one of these panels talking about. I think it was Jack Royston. I think it was him talking about how William will never forgive Harry, or William is to hold up the reason why Harry and the family is still estranged and the rift continues because he didn't like what Harry said about Kate, and he didn't like what well, wait a minute, he didn't like what was said about Kate and Spare, and Charles did not like what was said about Camilla. That is the reason why the rift continues, and that is the reason why it's so hard to repair. And y'all know what I said to that. F them folks. I really feel like that every time I hear one of those flying monkeys say something like that, I say F you. F you. All the stuff that these people, Charles and Camilla and William and Kate, has done to Harry's wife, and all Harry and Meghan has done is absolutely told the truth about what they did to them. And you got the nerve to be indignant in any kind of way. You just mad because you got exposed. You just mad because your dirty deeds is now officially part of court record. And I love that for you. So my whole thing is they should be thinking about if Harry and Meghan ever would want to speak to them, because I'm telling you, Harry and Meghan are better people than me, because I would not want anything to do with any of them. When people absolutely would call their name to me, I would say, who? I would turn into an owl. Who, who? Because I would absolutely try my best to forget those people even exist. Because if anybody has been a victim in this and has the moral high ground, it's Harry and Meghan. They are the ones who have been hurt in all of this. And if you don't believe it, read the court documents. Because I don't see any court documents saying that Harry and Meghan leaked and planted stories on them. Why are you so hurt? And they absolutely have the nerve to be indignant that somehow, no matter what I serve up to you, you eat it and keep your mouth shut. That's the attitude these folks have. I'm just saying, let's go on. It says the publisher of the Daily Mail has claimed members of the royal family was responsible for the revelations about Prince Harry appearing in the press. That's in court documents. That is why they're so mad. They have been exposed. It is part of history. Harry's book and all of these lawsuits have absolutely put it into the history book of who these people are. They try to get on television or get in front of their peasants or their subjects and try to present this perfect front. But in actuality, these people are rotten to the core. And now people see that for themselves. And they mad at Harry and Meghan for the exposure, not for what they did, but for the exposure. And it goes on to say, in the ongoing phone hacking trial against Mirror Group newspaper by the Duke of Sussex and others, the publisher denied that 28 out of the 33 articles in Harry's claim involving phone hacking, or other unlawful information gathering, according to a written submission from the Mirror Group and barrister Andrew Green KC. Instead, it was claimed some of the information in the article came from the members of Harry's own family. And when you say that, that seemed like it came from their mouth. It didn't come from their people. It came from their mouth. And if I want to guess who it came from, Camilla would be number one, the horse. The horse is a sellout from the beginning. And Harry documented that in Spare. And then it also comes from William. He walking around there looking just like he been struck by lightning. And no, he did all these things. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I tickle myself. I tickle myself. But yeah, he walk around looking like he's struck by lightning. I mean, just in a daze. And knowing what he did. I'm just saying. It goes on to say the legal document seen by Yahoo News states many came from information disclosed by and on behalf of royal households or members of the royal family. So it came from people that the royal family gave them the information and said, you go and you be a royal source. Then it said it came from the royal household, meaning that it came from one of the palace. So the palace briefed them, or members of the royal family themselves calling the phone. And y'all know Byron got this cute little old meme. And I guess it's not a meme, but he made it up. And it's with William on the phone said, I think it says the calls are coming from inside the house. Y'all remember that from Byron? That is true. It was royal family members getting on the phone themselves, planning stories about Harry and Meghan, leaking stuff about Harry and Meghan. How, and then they have the nerve to talk about we can't trust Harry. When Harry comes over, we just don't know. He'll leak. He'll absolutely have something on Netflix. Or he got Netflix camera or Netflix mic. And we everything we said between him, it might end up in another book. Well, at least Harry, whatever Harry says, it comes out of his mouth and he puts his name to it. Unlike y'all folks over there doing stuff undercover, but yet and still being exposed, thinking that it would never ever come out that you were doing this. And now, looky. It is in public record. It is in court documents. I just love that for them. I do. I do. And they made a point of saying sometimes it comes from a source, sometimes it comes from the royal households, but sometimes it comes directly from a royal family member. Harry ain't got no family over there. Don't eat them people's food, Harry, because nobody over there means you any good. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say that Prince Harry himself has previously spoken about the alleged leaks from within the firm, claiming in his book, Spare, that the members of the royal family briefed the press against one another. Can you imagine living in a family like that? A family of nothing but vipers. And then they want to try to talk about they can't trust Harry and Meghan because they might leak something or put something in a book. Please, please. This is all these people have done. That's all they have done. Harry and Meghan. That's the reason why they said when Harry went over there to see Charles after he said he had cancer. And I say he said because I don't know for sure if the man got it or not. But Harry did not want Camilla in the room. He wanted it to be him and his dad. Because if it was him and his dad and something got leaked, he knew who leaked it. And I don't know if that happened, but I hope it did. Because isn't it funny that we have not heard anything that has come out of that meeting? Now, we heard about how short or long it was. I'm telling you, it went from 45 minutes to 30 minutes to 15 minutes. It was all different kinds of reports, how long it was. But we have yet to find out what was said in it. And that really makes me think that Camilla was not in the room. But it did come out later. Somebody planted a story saying that Camilla was there, and that was in Tom Sykes. Tom Sykes reported that somebody said that she was in the room. It had to be her. But does that make that true? No. Because do I believe if Camilla was in the room, we would not know. We would already know what came out of that particular meeting between Harry and his father. And yet we hadn't heard anything. And we all know that Camilla will sell anything and everybody down the river in order to get a positive story and to keep her relationship with them rags. So I'm just saying, I don't believe she was in there. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment, but I don't believe she was there. I'm just saying. And it says, I have complex feelings about gaining a step parent who I thought had recently sacrificed me on her personal altar. He wrote of Camilla marrying his father in 2005. Yes, Harry did not want him to marry that witch because he knew what she already had done and the possibilities of what she could do in the future. And boy, oh boy, did he not lie. Look what she has done. She has been nothing but a cancer on that monarchy. And she continues to eat and eat and eat away. I'm just saying. All right, it goes on to say in an interview with ITV, Tom Black, and it goes on to say, in an interview with ITV, Tom's Bradby, for some reason I can't say that, Bradby. And it goes on to say in an interview with ITV's Tom Bradby, I cannot say that, Bradby. In an interview, and it goes on to say in an interview with ITV's Tom Bradby, following the publication of his memoir, the Duke of Sussex was asked how he would respond to people who say his book had violated the privacy of his family. And I'm going to say this before I read the rest of it. I don't understand how you can violate someone's privacy when it's your story. It's your story. How are you violating the privacy of the people who are part of your story? I'm just saying. But Harry goes on to say this. That would be the accusation from people that don't understand or don't want to believe that my family has been briefing the press, he replied. On another occasion, in Meghan and Harry's Netflix documentary series, the couple said there had been a number of occasions in which they believed leaks to the press had come from within the palace. And I remember that. Harry said that they put in their letter to Charles, their proposal to Charles, when they wanted to be half in, half out. that they would be willing to give up their Duke and Duchess titles. And Harry said when he saw that in the newspaper, he knew right then and there where it came from because nobody else would have known that except his father or someone in his father's office. That is what Harry is talking about. That is how Harry found out that his father was a leaker. His father was not on his side. That is why his father was so insistent on them putting everything in writing because he was going to use that against them. Absolutely. And y'all, I want to put this up. And And this particular squatty had posted this. And it was a post that I had did a screenshot of a while ago, and I saved it for some reason because Harry's face on this particular post was so haunting to me. And this is what this squatty said. I couldn't imagine how hard this day must have been for Prince Harry. Prince Harry looks out of the window as he watches Prince Charles and Camilla leave St. George's Chapel married. That's his face when he knew that his fate was with that horse. That horse had absolutely won and that he was not the number one priority in his father's life. That Charles paid them no mind when him and William said, "Don't do it, Dad, don't do it." He did it. And this is Harry looking out of the bus. He rode the bus back after Charles's wedding. He did. After they had took the pictures and used him as a prop to prop Charles and his horse up because that's always have been the plan when it came to Harry and William. They were nothing but props and something to be used in order to clear the way. And once all the pictures had been taken, after everything needed to be done, and they had used Harry and William to prop them up and clear the way and to make it palatable for Charles and his horse's wedding, they put Harry on a bus. Did not even ride back in a car. Harry knew then where he stood in this particular game. And it absolutely did not bode well for Harry. Look at Harry's face. Very haunting. Very, very haunting. I think I'm always going to keep this particular post. I can just bring it up every now and then to remind us of who Charles is and what he did, him and his horse did. After all was said and done, Harry had to ride back on a bus. Probably the bus that they planned on throwing him under time and time and time again. I'm just saying. I'll put this up. And this was a post from the past too, where Celebrity was talking about how Charles, his pre-Christmas lunch, none of his sons were there. And this particular post said this: he has two people he has always put first, himself and Camilla, in that order. That is why. And that particular picture that I just showed you, that particular post, absolutely proves that this is the way it has always been. I don't care anything for Harry. He is a horrible, trash human being and a trash father. I'm just saying. And y'all, I'm going to put this up. And it is a reminder of what Meghan said on the Oprah interview of exactly who these people are. It says they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they wasn't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband. Where is the lie? And it's been proven time and time and time again. And this particular squatty said this: 8+ years of unbelievable, vile, and inhuman level of hate and vitriol coming from those people over there, perpetrating that. The smear campaign, initiating it. I mean, plotting it and planning it and benefiting from it. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. Put the clowns up because he is a clown. He continues to be a clown. He's a trash human being and he is a trash father. And what was said on that post previously, that he has never, ever cared about anybody except himself and his horse. And that has never changed. And it never will change. And I hope Harry remembers that. He does not have a father. He has a clown. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this other clown up here. His brother. He went through a lot of this with Harry. And what does he do? He becomes part of the problem, never the solution. That makes him a clown. Oh, how William could have changed things. Him and Harry together, shoulder to shoulder. But he never wanted to do that because his ego would not allow it. And here he is stuck with a bunch of people who only care what they can get out of him, just being adjacent to his power and his position. He don't have anybody that truly loves him for who he is. He drove him away because Harry was the only living person that loved him for who he was. And he couldn't see that. That makes him a clown. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up. And y'all know, I don't care what day it is. It can be Christmas Eve or not. If you mess with Harry and Meghan, the Sussex Squad is going to eat your face out. All right, y'all. Bye.